What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Me and TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo, and this is the last show for the night that we're doing. This is Love After Lockup. This is season 5 or season 6, depending on how you want to look at it. Episode 37 or episode 7, titled Love Me, Love Me Not. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful, wonderful weekend thus far. There is no synopsis, so we just gonna dive right into it. All right, y'all. So we start the episode off with Tisha and Keith. Y'all, Letitia ends up going to her lawyer, Arthur, and I'm not sure if this lawyer has been around the entire time. But either way, she goes to this lawyer. And after he looks over for a few minutes or however long it took him, he informs her that he does not see any type of evidence that would support an early release for Keith. So unfortunately for him, he's going to have to do these last 8 months. And I was like, damn, he only got 8 months left. And they doing all this and she's spending all these thousands and thousands of dollars to try to get him out. Man, if you don't lay back and take them last 8 months on the chin, okay? You done did what, 9 years? He had a 10-year bid. You done did 9 years. What's 8 more months to you? Just saying. I know you ready to come home, but not at the expense of you spending all this money to try to get out a couple months earlier when you done did all these years. No, that's enough for me. Now, he does also tell her that Benji, what's his name? Ben, Uncle Ben's great-great-grandson with no teeth. Y'all, he done scammed her, okay? He started to tell her that, but yeah, no, you got scammed, lady. And so Keith ends up calling her, and she tells him what she done found out. And of course, he tries to remain positive about it. And he was like, well, if these appeals don't go through, then we start the real countdown, which is 8 months. Okay, it just is what it is. And so he ends up getting off the phone with her. And although he tries to hide it, she can tell that he's very disappointed. So, y'all, she goes home, and his aunt is there watching the kids, or the youngest one at least. And apparently she had told her that the sheriff had showed up with a pink slip earlier in the day. Well, she done dug into the information a little bit more. And y'all, it turns out that for the 2 months that she been living there and she been paying rent to the people that own this house, apparently these people ain't been paying their mortgage. And so because they have failed to pay their mortgage for the past year, how do you not pay your mortgage for a whole year before they come trying to foreclose on your house? So I think she told her that because they have not paid the mortgage for the last year, she now only has 2 months to get out of that place. Y'all, when I tell you Letitia is on the verge, and at this point, I wouldn't blame her, of having a breakdown. It's just like things just keep coming. She can't even catch her breath from the first thing, because she's so upset about the fact that he's not getting out. And now she out here looking stupid in front of his family, in front of her family. She been telling people that he's getting out early. More importantly, she done told her babies that he's getting out early. And baby girl is so excited for him because that's the only daddy that she know. But unfortunately, he gonna have to stay in there a little bit longer, and that's gonna break her heart to have to tell her that. But she gonna have to do it. And not only that, but she gonna have to tell her that she gonna have to pack up because they ain't gonna be able to live there no more. Now, I don't know who did the paperwork, who signed off on that type of lease agreement, but I'm just like, who did this? Letitia, did you sign off on this? Did you have a conversation with them, or was this like a month-to-month type of situation? And can you not sue them to a certain extent? Well, I guess they're giving you more than 30 days to find a place, so. But where was the money going? What was y'all doing with the money? There's some janky ass people out here in this world. So then we'll hop over to Julian and Christine real quick. So Julian and Christine, Julian takes Christine to go check in with her PO. And Once they get back in the car, or once she gets back in the car, he was like, okay, we done CYA. Then she was like, what is that? And he was like, you don't know what CYA means? It means cover your ass. And so they go somewhere and they start walking, and she starts to ask him about what's going on with the other lawyer that she's supposed to have for trying to get her son back. And Julian informs us that he's already paying for the lawyer for the twins in Ohio. And so when he's asking her to get a job, she looking at him like he got 5 heads. Because she was expecting him to take care of her, but it's like, girl, he only makes so much money, and with said money, he's got to live. Then he trying to take care of his kids. Then he fighting for your kids by paying the lawyer to help you get them back to some capacity. And then he got to take care of you. You better be glad he ain't got no alimony, okay? When you sitting up here expecting him to just do all of this for you, and you not really sweating bringing in some source of finances for the house, ma'am, but you a grown woman, and you want your kids back. Now make that make sense. Now I get it. Because she was like, do you know how hard it is for me to try to find a job out here as a convicted felon? Ma'am, I understand all of that. But you, Heifer, have to understand that didn't nobody tell your grown ass to go out there and go rob them banks. You didn't have no type of forethought of the consequences for what was going to happen after. So why should you expect somebody to take care of you for the rest of your life? You think just laying on your back is going to help you skate through life? You think that you not having a job is going to go over well with the judge that's going to determine whether you can get your kids back or not? She talking about she feel away because when he was with his ex, they went on all these lavish trips, and his kids is in private school, etc., etc. Like, he got all this money, right? But the key word with that is his ex-wife had a job, ma'am. There were 2 incomes that were happening there. You are solely depending on his income to support you and him and his kids and yours. Now, I ain't saying that you got to get out here and get some white collar type of job, because I don't think they're going to ever let you in those types of places, okay, without giving a second glance to you. But you can, on the other hand, flip a burger, okay? You can shop for groceries doing Instacart or something like that. You can work in somebody's warehouse. And that's just a few starter jobs that you can do, okay? You can work at a gas station. You can do all of those types of jobs. They hire people every day. Times is hard out here to find good workers, good reliable workers. So I'm pretty sure they'd be able, to make something shake for you, but you're not even trying. Go get a job, ma'am, if you want to get your kids back, because ain't no judge going to grant you no type of custodial rights if you're not trying to actively better your own situation while you just sitting up here waiting on everybody to fix it for you. You ain't even trying for yourself nor your kids. Your kids, anyway, better off where they are. Supervised visitation. That's it. That's all. So over to Bianca and Daniel. Bianca is preparing for Daniel's release tomorrow. She's very nervous. She's still trying to adjust to living out in Arizona. She said it's hot as hell out there. I was like, girl, you came from Florida. Was it not humid in Florida where you was at? Because it's hot where I'm at, and I'm up higher than you are. So I know you got to be feeling some type of heat, okay? But she said that she hot as hell out there, and that she ain't got no friends. She lonely. Well, she ain't gonna be lonely for too much longer. So Daniel ends up calling her, and they're talking about what's gonna happen if his request ends up getting denied. And he was like, "Nah, baby, it's gonna come through. You just gotta be positive, this, that, and the third. And if not, then you might just be staying out there a lot longer than you anticipated. You better hope them them winter months, them fall and winter months is a lot cooler than the summertime." And so she then mentions how she's going to be picking him up with his parents, and how she wishes that she was riding solo dolo coming to pick him up, but that ain't the way that it's working. And so she's also mentioning how nervous she is about the potential conversation that they may have, because she's supposed to be going to go meet his family today. And so once she goes to go meet with them, not only is it the parents, but it's also Daniel's cousin that meets with her. And so during this whole conversation, I'm pretty sure his family realizes how delusional and naive and immature she is. She is very immature and self-centered. She cares about nobody but herself. And so as they're talking, the mom basically reveals that she has been through it, okay? She has had to deal with most of the men in her life being addicted to something in one form or another. Her ex-husband was addicted to alcohol. Her current husband has been addicted to alcohol. He's now 5 months sober, but unfortunately, she lost her son to a fentanyl overdose. Okay, and then her other son is currently in jail because of an alcohol addiction. And so she just doesn't want to have to bury another son. She says that she don't think that she could survive that. And honestly, I don't blame her for that. She starts to tear up, get emotional, and Bianca could care less. Now, she says, "Oh, me and Daniel have had conversations about me drinking a glass of wine over dinner. He says that he wouldn't really be bothered by that." And so Daniel mama turned to her husband and was like, "Honey, what would you do if I bought an alcoholic drink up in here, and or I bought a bottle in here?" And he was like, "Honestly, I would tell you to pour it out if I didn't pour it out myself, and then I would pour out whatever alcohol was left in the refrigerator." You just cannot completely disregard somebody else's triggers, especially if they're really, really struggling in that area. And so she just doesn't see why she needs to change her life for him. And so the cousin actually mentions, "Hey, don't you think that it would be better if you found somebody that wasn't struggling with this type of addiction?" And she was like, "No." "I think Daniel will be just fine. If he wasn't, then I think that he would tell me." And so again, the mama turns to her husband and was like, "Baby, if you were struggling like that, do you think that you would tell me?" And he was like, "No." Now Daniel may not say anything because he's trying to be nice, but on the inside he's probably like, "I can't stand her for triggering me like she do." Again, she just doesn't see it, and instead she ends up turning the conversation to a different effect and asking them why in the world they told Daniel that he shouldn't marry somebody like her. Y'all, she just don't get it. Anyway, on to the next people. So, True and Shantae. Y'all, True said that he finna get ready to drive 5 hours to go see Shantae. Now, once he arrived in the area, he go to the grocery store because he said that the way to win her back is through her stomach. He trying to feed her, y'all, to win her love. So he said that he gonna fix her a steak omelet. Now, he said that he was a culinary chef up in Lockup. And I can't remember his chef name. I think it was Chef Extra or something like that. Something stupid, okay? And so he go to the store. Y'all, why in the hell this man, as old as he is, he don't know how to shop for eggs. Now, I get it, you done been in lockup for over a decade. And so when you get to check out, to self-check out, that may be something new for you. But you done been out for 3 months. You got a driver's license. You can't sit up here and tell me that you ain't been to nobody's store. You been in the checkout line where the cashiers is actively ringing you out for the last 3 months. Have you even went to go shop for yourself when it comes to groceries, sir? Or did you get somebody else to do it? Have the women in your life been shopping for your groceries up until this point? But he don't know how to shop for eggs, y'all. He don't know to avoid the cracks in the eggs. He gets some random lady that's in the store to look at the carton of eggs for him and give him the thumbs up on the ones that he need to take. What's the difference between a large and an extra large egg? True don't know none of the answers to none of these questions. Just as stupid as he want to be. So he ends up getting the groceries. And y'all, like I said, he drove to Shantae's to try to win her back so they can be one big happy family. Okay. So he tries to display his culinary skills by fixing her this steak omelet. Now, initially when he got there, y'all, the dog was barking. Shantae didn't want to let him in. And he was like, I'm here to apologize. You're not going to let me in? No, not really. I really don't want you to be here. I told you not to come. But I got these groceries. I'm finna try to cook something for you. So he done whipped up this meal. And y'all, as he's actively cooking in the kitchen, him and Shantae is talking. And y'all, she just trying to see what the competition was like. If he was out there talking to other people. And so he don't lie to her. He tell her that, yeah, he went out there to try to see if the grass was green on the other side. But once he got over there, he realized that the grass was brown and dead. It was as brittle as it wanted to be. Okay? And so, because he has nobody to turn to, he ain't going to tell her that. But he ain't got nowhere else to go but here. And so that's why he showed up at your doorstep. Now, he can try to say that he wanted to be a part of his kid's life. And maybe that might be true to a certain extent. But I feel like the more pressing matter at hand, because she's still, just a few months pregnant at this point. The more pressing matter at hand is him having somewhere to lay his head tonight. And for the next several ongoing nights. He ain't got nowhere else to go. And he know that if he show up to your doorstep, you gonna tell him, you can come right on in. You gonna let him in. And so he finished cooking this steak omelet, y'all. And he talking cash money. Shantae bought into that thing and she was like, this is your best dish? This is the best that you got to offer me? You don't need to be opening up nobody's restaurant. You don't need to be signing off on nobody's papers because you can't cook, bruh. I don't know what you was doing in jail. I guess that's better than eating mystery meatloaf or mystery meats for the day. But this ain't it. This is not it for me. You trying to kill me and the babies. And so he apologizes to her. Okay. He said that he was wrong for how he treated her. He said that he was wrong for dumping her like he did, for leaving her high and dry, for saying that she was boring. She didn't want to do nothing. He want to be with her because he love her. Okay. He really does genuinely care for her. And so, even though she said the omelet was trash, he was like, at least I made you laugh. Now, about where I'm gonna sleep tonight, she was like, oh yeah, no, you can definitely crash here. I ain't gonna tell you that you can't stay here, but you're not gonna be in my bed. You gonna be out here on this couch. Good night. Again, we know they together, y'all. So why are we even going through all this? This is stupid. Just get them off the screen. Z and Troy. Troy is getting ready to head back to Buffalo. It's supposed to be him, his mama, and Z because they're all finna get ready to go visit his daughter, who he has not seen in 7 years. I don't think he's seen her since she was 7 months old. And this was agreed upon. But now, on the day of, Z suddenly has a change of heart. And she is definitely self-sabotaging, because she's saying that because Troy was on the phone a little too long for her liking with his baby mama, probably discussing something about their daughter, that she no longer wants to go. And it's F him for life, okay? She don't want to be with him no more. She's ready to get a divorce, sign off on the paperwork. She ain't got to be with him because she know that he's sniggling and giggling behind the scenes. You know, he'll say a couple of words to Anya. What's her name, y'all? I don't know. Yana, Ayana, something like that, on the phone in front of her, but then he's excusing himself to go to a different room to have a deeper, more private conversation with her, and she don't like it. Now, why she chose to say something today versus saying something when it was actively happening, that's neither here nor there, but just know that she ain't going with him. And so he is like, but my daughter asked to meet you. I done already talked to Ayana. I told her that I didn't want no BS. I don't want to be with her. I want to be with you. She knows that I want to be with you. Okay, so regardless of what her motives are, she know that I ain't trying to kick it with her like that. She know I'm just here for my daughter and my daughter only. Ain't no shenanigans. It's you. It's always been you. But this still ain't getting through to Z. Y'all, she done spent almost the whole damn hour trying to cake her face and get this hair up in this ponytail. And so she just like going off on him in front of his mama. And the mama is like, girl, what the hell is happening? Because everything was cool last night, but now you're ruining my high because you talking all this craziness. And so because it's all chaotic, you know, Troy done really had enough, because all of this is unwarranted from Z. He ain't did nothing wrong. You know, he ain't did nothing but profess his love for Z. And she's telling him to get the F out. You know, she don't need him. She can sign off on the paperwork today. She don't want to be with him. Ayana can have him if she really want him, this, that, and the third. Him and his raggedy ghetto mama can go back to Buffalo. Bye. So instead of him trying to pick an argument with her, he walks away. He leaves the house, and he literally walks 6 miles just to clear his head and find some peace. That man is out there talking to himself because he just wants to be happy. He wants to be with his family, and she is tearing this all apart. And so then Z and the mama try to find him, because the mama tried to call, but now he ain't answering the phone. It's going straight to voicemail. She's concerned. She done tried to call Ayana. It's pissing Z off even further. Mama's having conversations with the baby mama, although she was calling the baby mama a little witchy poo last episode. This, that, and the third, but now you having all this conversation with her. So in the car, Z is telling her, yeah, you know, he be sitting up here lying to you. He be lying to everybody, but I know what's really going on behind the scenes. Again, if it's going on behind the scenes and you just now confront it, that's an issue that you should have took care of a long time ago. But that's neither here nor there. So they get back to the house because they can't find him. They don't know where the hell he is. And Z was like, you know what? I'm just going to go lay down. And if you need me, then let me know. So I guess the trip was canceled for today. And Mama Karen gets on the phone with Yana again. And Ayana mentions that Troy had told her that he believes Z was messing around with somebody, having an affair. And Yana believes that Troy might have found out about it that day, and that's why Z is deflected, because she really the one doing all the shady stuff. She the one that's out here creeping. So, yeah, Troy just need to let it go. I mean, just go back with your mama and start over. It don't seem like this gonna work out. And that's a shame because, Troy done been involved in her son's life, and I think he done signed off on the paperwork and this, that, and the third, and that's a shame. We ain't even seen the son besides when they went to church. Where is he at? Maybe she don't want him to be filmed when they at the house. I don't know, because we don't see the sister either. Anyway, y'all, they don't need to be together. They need to let it go. Troy need to let her go. She doing too much. One minute she happy, and then the next minute anybody showing him some just the slightest ounce of attention, and it ain't her. She ready to leave. She ready to call it quits. Ready to give up on it. Last but not least, y'all, I think that's it. We go over to Hope and Arthur. Now, y'all, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for Arthur. So they actually start the day off pretty good. Arthur is cooking breakfast as he's apologizing to Hope for not keeping in touch with her and uh, being in communication with her as far as where he was with his mom last night. Again, that's his mama. What could he really do? But, he apologizes to her and says that it won't happen again. Well, it better not, then you better make sure you eat my food because it took me a long time to fix it. So Hope ends up telling him that she's going to take him to a fabric store so he can start, really fulfilling his dreams of becoming this designer. And it's a really nice gesture from her. Now, when they get there and I see Hope's outfit, I'm not body shaming her. I'm just saying, if you know your limits, know your boundaries, okay? But the first project that he need to take on is adding some fabric to her crop top. I am not a fan of the outfit that she had on, y'all. Again, and I'm not one to shame, but it wasn't flattering. Hope. Like, and I get it, y'all wasn't dolled up going there. You ain't gotta be dolled up, but you ain't gotta be stepping out like that either. That's it. So as he's looking at these fabrics, and he seems very knowledgeable about the fabrics, he's telling us how he would take bread ties, and those would be his sewing needles. Okay, all you need to do is strip it, wither it down, and then do some things to it, and then boom, bam, you got you a sewing needle. And so he said that he would make beanies and he would make clothes for everybody else. He would make turtlenecks during the winter when it was really cold. All the things. So he's definitely knowledgeable about some things in the fashion world. And so as he's looking at fabric, she steps away because her sister is calling. Now, she explains to us that she really hasn't told her sisters anything about Arthur because she doesn't want to hear their mouth. Okay, she don't want to feel like she's being judged because of who she's messing with. I mean, but if that's the man that you're gonna be with, and that's the man you want to marry, then they're gonna have to find out about him eventually. She's basically doing the same thing that Julian was doing to Christine. So Arthur comes back to find her, and he's trying to talk to her, and she like gives him the hand, and she shushes him and tells him to hold on as she tells her sister bye. And so he was like, "Who is you talking to?" And she was like, "Oh, I was talking to my sister. Why you didn't tell your sister that you was here with me? Why you didn't let me say hi?" And so she was like, they really don't know anything about you. I'm just trying to get them to meet you in person so they can come to their own conclusions. And I'm like, girl, again, you setting him up for failure, especially with this damn pyramid in the middle of his forehead. You could at least paint a nice picture of Arthur. He is a very sweet guy. Misunderstood? Yeah. Troubled past? Absolutely. But he is a very sweet and sensitive guy from what we see on camera. So anyway, after that, y'all, they go back to the house and they're trying to put something together when Arthur happens to stumble across an old picture of Hope with some random dude. Now, I feel like this is somebody that she was probably messing around with when they was supposed to be together and she was supposed to be faithful to him. But either way, y'all, she had the audacity to ask him, did he want her to get rid of the picture? Ma'am, is that a rhetorical question? What you gonna do? Keep it? Better yet, what you gonna do with it? You gonna hang it up? You gonna frame it? You gonna put it next to our picture? What the hell? What type of question is that? Of course I want you to get rid of it, dummy. And so instead of him telling her how he really feels, he was like, no, it's okay. You ain't gotta get rid of it. You can keep it. And so then she wants him to start opening up and being honest about how he really feels when it comes to certain things. You know, you can't just sit up here and let all these emotions fester and boil over, and then boom bam, you get caught up in an incident because you don't let your feelings explode because you've been trying to keep them under wraps for so long. That ain't the way to be, Arthur. And so she's trying to talk to him, and he was like, girl, you just don't understand. You have no clue what it's like to be in jail. If I was the Arthur that I wanted to be in jail, they would have tore me to shreds. Do you understand me? They would have chewed me up and spit me out. I can't be vulnerable like that in lockup. I can't be emotional like that behind bars. So it's a hard thing for me to do to try to transition back to the guy that you are asking me to be. I'm not ready yet. I'm not there mentally nor emotionally yet. You're going to have to give me some time. And so when she's wanting him to explain further, he was like, you know what? I'm going to go take a walk. And so as he's walking down the hallway, y'all, we can hear him crying. I just feel so bad for him. And in his confessional, he starts to talk about the examples of the psychological warfare that jail has on the mental of a person, on the mentality, on the spirit of a person. And so he talks about how the walls are this depressing color. Everybody wears the same color. Okay, there's no type of individuality. You are just a number there. You know, you're not a person. You are a number. There's no sunshine. You get 1 hour maybe of wreck. And then if somebody's acting a fool, then you don't get no hours of wreck. If you act a fool, then you might be in solitary confinement, where it's just you and your thoughts. You can't talk to people. Okay, there's no fresh air. Just being imprisoned. When you want to get up and go walk around and clear your head, you can't even do that because you might have to be in your cell for the rest of the day. You can't do nothing. It's depressing, and that has a strong hold on people's mentalities. And as much as a lot of ex-inmates or ex-prisoners don't like to discuss these types of things and how it affects them, he was able to open up and articulate how he feels in a way that we can understand and we can empathize with, even if we haven't been put in that situation before. I'm sure everybody knows somebody that done been locked up. You know, and it may not be as, their experience may not have been as traumatic as his experience was, but they done seen some things in there. You're not the same person coming out as you was going in. And so he tells us in the confessional that what really got him was when he saw a man die right in front of him. The man was reaching out for him, for Arthur to help him, and Arthur couldn't do anything for him. But he saw the light leave him. And that has really messed him up, y'all. And so when he goes outside, Hope finally comes out, and it's almost like he's in a whole nother state, y'all. He clearly looks like he's having a mental break. Okay? At least to some degree, because he's telling her and the producers and everything that he's seeing demons, that he don't know who he can trust. Okay? He can only see a few people that are trustworthy. But everybody else is demons out here. And that's a scary thing. If somebody tell you that, how are you supposed to respond to that? You can't call the police, because the police is going to amp it up. Because a lot of them don't have the right training. So what you supposed to do? So Hope is out there, and she's trying to talk to him. She's like, you gonna hug me? And he not saying nothing. He's looking at her, but he's looking right through her. And so he finally tells her, I love you, Hope. And she like, what? What the hell? Again, how you supposed to respond to that? It's like he's in a trance. Like he is not mentally there right now. And so they end up calling his mama. And the mama seems to calm him down a little bit. She's asking him, is he having a panic attack? And he was like, yeah, I think so. And she's like, just trying to comfort him, like it's going to be okay. And even if it's not okay, eventually it will work itself out. You just got to see it through. You just got to breathe. It's going to be different this time. It's going to be different this go around. It's going to be okay. And so then he tells his mama that he loves her. And he just gets really emotional. Hope tries to hug him again, and she's telling us in the confessional that this time is different. When he came out at first, it wasn't like this, but then this last time that he got released, it was just a different Arthur. Because he done seen a lot worse things this time around. So that's going to have an impact on him. You just got to try to support him through it, get him the help that he need, and hopefully he'll come around. And if not, then that's okay too. In his own time, he will discuss how he feels about it. Like I said, he's very articulate. He knows how to tell us exactly how he's feeling. I just feel so bad for him. And so they ended up giving us the caption that, they had to stop filming. And at that particular moment, they decided to get him some help. And I'm just wondering how long it took them to realize that. Like, as soon as Hope came out there and he was looking through her and not at her, that's when they should have stopped filming and got him the help that he needed. But I guess, And then they give us the post. If you or someone is experiencing these types of things, call the national helpline. I just feel so bad for Arthur. And then knowing that he's back in jail, possibly for something that he's not responsible for, that's just adding even more trauma onto him. So I just feel so bad for him. But y'all, that's the way the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. Y'all, I love y'all, okay? You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Please stay safe out there, y'all. Please rate and review if you haven't already. The views are there, okay? The downloads, the streams, they are happening. Thank you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word for your girl, okay? I appreciate each and every one of you for coming back every week, because you definitely don't have to do that. I'm still working out trying to get a more consistent schedule with YouTube. So maybe if I can get my work schedule down packed, then maybe I can get the videos up towards the end of the weeks. Or maybe even on the weekend if I have time, y'all. But it's hard to record and then try to upload the videos after recording, because then I got to get the pictures. And anyway, y'all don't need to hear all of that. Y'all ain't here for that. But just know I'm trying, all right? I'm thinking about y'all. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.